It's showtime at Homestead, Miami.
Andre Baranowskis at the line, steals it in the Indy 250.
Gordon, the Baxter's in trouble, let it go. Gordon to the wall, jumps right around.
Side by side on the final lap, coming to the checkered flag.
Steve Morgan, the last lap pass, and the victory in Las Vegas.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Alright. It's been the moment we've been waiting for all night long. It is race number 16 in season number 9 of the NOFSRL Chick-Fil-A Cup Series here during the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. The Southern States 480 laps of action around the North Wilkesboro Speedway. And we're in store for a treat. No pit stops in this race, but there will probably be a few cautions. And after what we've already seen tonight with the Super Trucks and the late model stocks, I think we're going to be in store for another great one here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. I'm joined alongside Justin Zeidel, owner of the Zeidel Motorsports team, and they're up there in the Owners' Championship, and they got Andrew Miller starting on the outside pole. But what are you most looking forward to with this race? With all these throwbacks on this historic racetrack, how do you think the racing is going to play out here tonight in the Southern States 400?
I think it's going to be really insane racing throughout. I love seeing these beautiful throwbacks on the track. I'm really looking forward to this race. We're going to see some nice, really good racing tonight. I'm really looking forward to see how it goes.
And it should be a fun one. The heat races that we had last night were excellent races. Hopefully we get more of the same here tonight. Like I mentioned, there aren't any pit stops in this race due to the fact that the pit road just a little out of whack here, but it kind of throws you back a little bit. No pit stops, a strict 80-lap race, so these guys who are starting up front, they're going to have the advantage here tonight in this 80-lap feature during the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. This is how they line up in the championship standings coming to the 16th race of the season. Only 5 races remain until the chase cutoff, so it's getting very critical for a lot of these guys who are up here in points. Sam Oskin is 60 points ahead as the points leader in the number 83. Reagan Whitlock is 56 points ahead of the cutoff mark, I should say. Andrew Rowe, or should I say Alexander Rowe? Wrong A. Alexander Rowe, 43 points ahead of the cutoff. Shane Lake is 40 points ahead of the cutoff. Silas Orda, 35 points ahead of the cutoff. Bradley Ream, 18 points ahead. Andrew Miller, 15 points ahead. Ryan Durrani, 14 points ahead. Mark Davidson, 12 points ahead. And Kansas winner Hierjel Arvin Alonso, 5 points ahead. Our last winner in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series is 5 points behind. That's Nathan Baird, who won last week at Portland. Nathan Stapleton only 15 points behind the cutoff. Zachary Fitzwater, 21 behind. And Eli Bright, 22 points behind. In the wild card standings, Nathan Baird, who won that race at Portland, is going to throw his hat into the ring of the wild card standings. 58 points ahead of the cutoff in the wild card. Fisher G is 26 points ahead from his win at Martinsville. Iquan Haslam is 26 points behind. Jesse Turner, 33 points behind. Thomas Troxel, 39 points behind. And Wyatt Quayle, Bristol winner, 67 points behind the wild card, with only 5 races remaining until the chase cutoff. And with no pit stops in this race, how do you think the guys who are around that chase cutoff, who are starting in the back of the field, are going to manage this racetrack here tonight with 80 laps?
I think they're just going to have to grind really hard. That's the only way. No pit stops means they can't really do anything but just keep grinding and grinding until they can try to at least get up to the front as much as they can. It's going to be hard because starting up front is key for this race. So if you start in the back, it's not going to be easy for you.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. I think if we get a lot of cautions tonight, those guys in the back might get more of an advantage, but odds are the race winner is going to come from the top 10 here tonight. So that's good news for guys like Matt Dalio, Ace Garcia, Eli Bright, who's kind of like right up there by that cutoff mark. They're not inside the chase yet, but a win gives you maximum points, and that maximum amount of points, not only a win puts you in the wildcard standings, but it puts you closer to that top 10 as well, and we could see one of those drivers do so here tonight. We got some great throwbacks in this race. Obviously on the front row, Matt Dalio, Neil Bonner throwback, Andrew Miller, Jeff Gordon, Rainbow Warriors throwback, Ace Garcia behind those guys in the Jocko Flacco machine for Tim Flock from the 1950s. That's the oldest throwback we have in the field. He's starting in the 3rd position. Then Eli Bright, sporting a Dale Jr. throwback, is going to be starting in the 4th position. Nathan Baird throwing it back to Ted Musgrave and the Family Channel machine. In the number 16, he's our last winner here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Ricky Bobby in the 39, Wyatt Quayle starting 8th, trying to gain some points in that wild card race. He still has a shot, but he's 67 off. Ryan Durrani currently inside the chase with a Matt Kenseth throwback. Uncharted driver Keyshawn Richardson there, starting in the 8th position. Shane Lake throwing it back to the 1999 Toyota in the 24 Hours of Le Mans for Velocity Racing. And Cameron Garlington, best darn scheme in the field, the greatest moment of my life. David Reagan, 2013 Talladega win. Here we go, Justin. You ready to get this one started? 80 laps for the throwback race, the Southern States 416th race of the season. We're Green Flag Racing in North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, Matt Dalio got a really good jump on that start. He's already going to take the lead, and Garcia's going to take second.
Down the backstretch they go, and Dalio pulling out to a huge lead on Ace Garcia. Miller falling back in an outside lane, but the outside lane here at North Wilkesboro is not the best place to start. Matt Dalio will lead lap 1 in the Southern States 400.
It was a really good start for him. Ace Garcia looks like the top 4 are starting to get single file behind. It's still side by side, 2 by 2.
I feel like champion there, Nathan Baird, won our last race. What do you think are his chances of winning here tonight in North Wilkesboro going back to back?
I feel like it's really high right now. He's in a good position as long as he doesn't really screw up later in the race. He's got a good chance to get back-to-back wins. He's still got to make up a little ground, but there's still plenty of time left.
Got a lot of action going in the back of the field. Wyatt Quayle started on the outside lane, same with Keyshawn Richardson there. They're starting to slip up just a little bit. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, the outside lane is not the best place to be here at North Wilkesboro. There's Trey Bartow in the number 4, throwing it back to his first ever scheme here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. This is his last season. He's been in the 4 every single season, and Trey Bartow won this race last year. So Bartow clawing his way through the field, up inside the top 10, and caution on the racetrack. Cody Sill and Nathan Faden going around in our first yellow of the night here in the Southern States 400. Tough break there for Cody Sill. One of the 3 John Andretti throwbacks we have in the field. This is throwing back to John Andretti's Little Caesar scheme. Of course, Jesse Turner also throwing it back to John Andretti in his final win, and Brad Stover with John Andretti's first win. Of course, we lost John Andretti earlier in the year. Awesome to see these John Andretti throwbacks here at North Wilkesboro, but such a shame to see Cody Sill get knocked out. He did start in the last position for this race. Not a good weekend for Cody Sill and the Golden Motorsports team. Matt Dalio will be the race leader. He's led every lap so far here in the Southern States 400. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the night here in the 16th race of the season, in season number 9 of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. You can see 4 wide here at North Wilkesboro. Not the best thing to do. McMillan there on the outside lane there in the 1990 Jimmy Means machine. Cody Sill and the John Andretti throwback getting a little bit spun off there from the Slim Jim throwback for Patrick Smith and Anderson Racing into the number 12 and Nathan Faden. And then Nicholas Samadillo has nowhere to go. It's such a narrow racetrack there. Nowhere to go for these guys in the back of the field, including Samadillo and Nathan Faden. Tough break there for Cody Sill. Heavy damage on the 37.
So just a 4-wide situation. Cody Sill gets hooked by Daniel McMillan, and it's just a short incident between him, Nathan Faden, Nicholas Samadillo. Very tight track, and Sill got a little bit of air right there. Sill's night's pretty most likely done. Samadillo and Faden, they're going to be still in contention, even though they're way in the back, but definitely just a short accident, but definitely a tough break for Cody Sill.
Well, early caution here in the Southern States 400. We're just getting started. 80 laps tonight. Got 5 laps in. Matt Dalio has led every lap so far. Let's see what he does in the restart here in the Southern States 400. We are back here. Southern States 400 action. We'll be restarting lap 10 of 80. 71 laps to go here at the famed North Wilkesboro Speedway for the 16th race of the season. Only 5 races until the chase cutoff, and got our throwback race here in North Wilkesboro. It's a great sight to see here around this 0.625 mile racetrack. Matt Dalio, your race leader. Ace Garcia, Nathan Baird, our last winner. Andrew Miller and Ryan Durrani, the top 5 back to racing at the Borough. And Dalio with a good jump on the start. Garcia, though, and Nathan Baird. Here we go for the race lead. The 81 looking for his first win in almost 2 years. To the inside of Matt Dalio for the top position.
Yeah, they were almost 3 wide for a lead. Nathan Baird, he's really trying to make some moves. He definitely wants to get back-to-back wins, especially in this throwback race. He's definitely looking strong right now to do it.
Of course, last weekend he was driving for COVID-19 relief, and he will be doing so throughout the rest of the season. But this weekend, it's the throwback to the Ted Musgrave machine. Andrew Miller on the 24 there, the inside of Matt Dallio. Down the pit lane is LJ Sameto and the Morgan Shepherd throwback. Not entirely sure what happened to the North State Racing driver, but he's going to go a lap down there for the home state team. Tough break for those guys, and Davey Johnson, the owner. But Alexander Rowe, their other guy, and their strongest guy of the year so far, coming into this race third in points, won Daytona 500, is doing pretty well in that Ken Schrader throwback, 1991 Kodiak. And definitely a great scheme there. Of course, I've yet to mention it here in our main broadcast. Mentioned it during the heat races and in qualifying, but a huge thank you to Trey, Wright, and Hierjel, Arvin, Alonso. Especially Alonso for kicking it off, but Trey also did a ton of these schemes, and they put all this together, and they really made this year's throwback race what it was. 39 of these guys have throwbacks this year, and I cannot thank Alonso and Trey Wright enough. Of course, Stuart Gratton also painted Mitchell Henderson's scheme here, and this is a V8 Supercar throwback to Jason Richards' scheme, 2007. Of course, all our Aussie friends, they love V8 Supercars, and Jason Richards unfortunately passed away in 2011. A great tribute to Jason Richards in this number 47 Boost Mobile machine for Mitchell Henderson, and Henderson currently running in the 6th position right now. Good run for him. Matt Dallio fell all the way back to 7th. Did not work out too well for our pole sitter there during that run. Cameron Garlington in the David Reagan throwback is 8th, and Keyshawn Richardson and Shane Lake the top 10 here at North Wilkesboro.
And that top 3, they got some distance on the rest of the field. Ace Garcia's got distance on Miller and Baird, as Miller's going to look on the inside for second.
He's going to go to the inside wall and around.
Watch out.
I don't think they're all going to be able to do it. Hard into him. His teammate, Fisher G. Oh, Justin. Oh, man.
That's a stack up.
Those are both of your guys right there, and a lot of guys going to get knocked out after this one. That was Fisher G, who ran right into him. It was just nowhere to go, and Ace Garcia got him the Bradley Ream.
They're going to get damage. Everyone else just a huge stack up.
Oh, Thomas Troxel all torn up. I believe he started in the back, but yikes. This is a tough place to check up here. Of course, guys like Garcia and Bear, they had already taken the green flag, and now...
And he's upside down.
Wow. This day going from bad to worse. He is already coming down the pit lane to repair damage anyway. What a heartbreak for Ace Garcia in the number 81. And the problem is it's such a short racetrack, and this is a big reason why they got rid of the racing back to the line rule in real-life NASCAR. It's for moments just like that. I believe Nathan Baird is going to take the race lead away in the number 16. Miller got sent around. His day is done. Eli Wright, Ryan Durrani, Mitchell Henderson, Matt Dallio, the top 5. But Ace Garcia came in there late and destroyed his race car. And then Nicholas Samadillo was to his inside and sent him upside down. Oh, full moon, not too long ago. I know you mentioned that, Justin. Getting a little wild here in North Wilkesboro. But, man, both of your guys there. That was Andrew Miller and Fisher G getting into each other. That's a tough thing to see as a team owner.
Yeah, we're going to definitely have some words in our team meeting, and then Nicholas just dumps Ace for no reason, really.
That was just a very bad lap for you. I will say, you have a good starting position tomorrow night for the super late model feature. Hopefully you can rebound a little bit. Of course, they're not one of the drivers in this race, but oh, brother, that was a bad lap for that team. Nathan Baird, your race leader. Let's go ahead and see what happened. Andrew Miller getting sent around, and his teammate Fisher G running right into him, and a lot of guys stacking up in the back. Well, Andrew Miller, and this has been such a common sight all weekend long. That inside lane car getting up into the outside lane car off of turn number 4, and Miller had a chance to save it, but he did not angle the hit on the wall well at all. I gotta give a lot of credit, though, to pretty much the entire top 10. They avoided this one fairly well. It was Fisher G, who you're going to see here in the number 7, just have nowhere to go. And look at all these guys in the back Brad Stover barely misses it, but right there, Fisher G right in to Andrew Miller. And heavy damage on the Zidell Motorsports machine. And then all these guys, you see them stack up here. Tristan Allen got ruined by Samet Oskin, Fitzwater, Nicolay Sykes, Landon Smith Jr. in the 98 there. And then Hierjel, Arvin, Alonso, Silas Orta, Dale Lightning, Thomas Troxel, Gatlin Downey. A lot of these guys started in the back of the field for this race. Just couldn't slow it down in time. And they're all destroyed. Most of these guys will be able to continue. We got Reagan Whitlock there in the middle of that. Our points leader, Samet Oskin, second in points. Reagan Whitlock all caught up in this one. Just a terrible wreck here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway.
So coming off of turn 4, Andrew Miller comes up, gets in the Baird, hits the wall really hard. Everyone looks like it's avoiding. Fisher G just comes in, slams right into him, a vicious hit. And it just causes a massive stack up behind. And then the leaders are also going to come around and get into the piece of this. Definitely was a rough lap to watch. I kind of want to apologize to all the guys that got involved in that. We'll definitely discuss. Yep, and then Garcia gets in. But then later on, you're going to see right here, he's going to come into pit road. They're all kind of stacking up. And then Nicholas Samadillo is going to get into him unless Garcia gets down. We're about to see right now. It looks like... Alright, it looks like, yep, Garcia and Sam Deal coming down, and then they're going to make contact, and then Garcia's going to flip. It was definitely a wild lap here at
Ace Garcia's race went from good to bad, just like that. I mean, he was already coming down the pit lane. His shot of winning this race was done before the San Mateo incident, but that just put icing on the cake for his misery here at North Wilkesboro. Tough break for the Tim Flock scheme. I think this was one that a lot of people wanted to see win, and Ace Garcia had a good chance at winning, but unfortunately the cookie crumbled in the wrong way, and that Coca-Cola 81 most likely will not be in victory lane. New leader is Nathan Baird, and he got the best of Nicolay Sykes at Portland last week. He's gone for 2 in a row. We're defending champion. Trying to get inside the top 10 in points as well. He's doing a good job of that right now. We'll have to see if he can hold these guys off on the restart here in the Southern States 400 at North Wilkesboro. Yeah, it's not your fault. It's the game's fault.
I know.
Back here at North Wilkesboro for the Southern States 400. Going to restart on lap 23 of 80. Nathan Baird, our last winner here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series, trying to make it inside that top 10. The leaders to the green flag, Eli Bright, Ryan Ronnie, Mitchell Henderson, and Matt Dalio, the top 5. And take a look at guys who are either a lap down or out of the race already. Only 30 guys on the lead lap here. Samedo's lap down, Sam Edillo, Faden, and Ace Garcia all 2 laps down. A lot of other guys out of this race here at North Wilkesboro. You can take a look and see who they are. Eli Bright, who's 21 out of the cutoff, trying to get to the inside of Nathan Baird, but Baird's going to hold on to the race lead for now.
Yeah, and Baird's doing a great job. He's really gotten good starts so far in the second half of the season. But Eli Bright, though, he's really digging hard. He's trying to get a run on Nathan Baird and pass him. He might be able to do it in a few laps.
We're going to have to see if Eli Bright can get an advantage here. Of course, Bright is the highest he's been in points all season long, running 14th, only 22 behind. And considering a lot of guys were involved in an accident, including guys like Alonso, he may have a good shot at possibly moving himself inside the top 10 at the end of the night. That would be a very, very honorable feat out of that Full Throttle Motorsports driver. His teammate, Ryan Arani, right behind him. Arani currently 8th in points overall. Dalio looking to the inside of Mitchell Henderson. And now we got some guys coming down the pit lane. Kukalon going to go a lap down in the Dale Senior throwback.
Careful.
And thankfully they will merge cleanly. Oh boy, that always makes me nervous when I see that. Here we go, battle for the race lead. Eli Bright on Nathan Baird. Baird way up the racetrack, and here comes the Pied Piper of Daytona. Only this time we're not at Daytona, we're at North Wilkesboro. Junebug going to the inside. Here in the Southern States 400, Eli Bright looking, but Baird with a strong run on the outside lane.
And Nathan Baird and Eli Bright, they've been able to pull some distance on the rest of the pack. And we'll see if they can catch up, but right now it's looking between the top 2 right now.
Matt Dalio really benefited from that wreck. He moved up to 5th. Got around Mitchell Henderson. Henderson's now falling back in the 47 machine. Tough break for him. How about Trey Bartow here? Moving himself up through the field. Last year's winner here in the Southern States 400. Inside the top 10 right now. Same with Brad Stover. And Brad Stover, let me tell you, it has been a tough year for this team. Inside the top 10 right now for Stover. And looking to rebound after the tough season. Both of these guys, teammates at Titan Fury Motorsports, almost getting into each other. There's the other Titan Fury guy, Sebastian Kukulon. Yikes. That definitely made Igor catch his breath there for a moment. But both of these guys, both Bartow and Stover, teammates at Titan Fury, they've had tough seasons and trying to rebound here, both running top 10 in the Southern States 400. Baird trying to pull away for his second win in a row here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Of course, it'd be his fourth career win in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series if he were to get it. Here comes Dalio. And not only that, he's bringing Garlington in with him. Season 3 and Season 4 champions there on that inside lane of Ryan Durrani. And I think a lot of it is, too, Dalio and Garlington do not have any damage. We have that stack up after the caution. Eli Bright, Nathan Baird, and Ryan Durrani all got caught up in a little bit of that. I think Dalio and Garlington have the fastest cars on the racetrack, which is why they're closing in on our race leaders.
Yeah, and Dalio, he fell back early on, but he's been making up some ground. He's already back up to the 3rd position. He's in a good position right now to catch up as they're starting to go single file throughout.
Of course, Garlington's another guy who's had a very tough season here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Was off last season, his first season since Season 7. Of course, like I mentioned, Season 3 champion of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series, but he hasn't won that much on Napa Fan, or I should say in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. He could have a shot at tonight's race victory. Here we go, closing in on lap traffic, Nathan Baird and Gatlin Downey, but Downey's doing the cycle thing where he keeps on coming down the pit lane, so he'll get out of the way. And Baird has put a gap on Eli Bright. Dalio now closing in on the 33 machine.
And Eli Bright, he went really wide off of turn 4. That's going to cause Dalio to get a run to see if he's going to make a move. Not quite. Eli Bright was able to hang on to the inside that time.
Of course, I mentioned it in the heat races. Matt Dalio and Daniel McMillan switched numbers from last season just so this throwback could be run in this race. Of course, Neil Bonnet drove the 75 Valvoline scheme back in the day. Matt Dalio, Valvoline's one of his sponsors. He drove the 79, but we're like, well, the 75's on the team. We might as well switch him so we can drive that old throwback in. He's doing a good job in it. Up to 2nd now for our pole sitter, Matt Dalio. Gonna push Eli Bright up the racetrack just a little bit. I gotta give a lot of credit to this guy. Keyshawn Richardson up to 5th. I don't know if this is his first career start in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series, but he's a veteran of the Napa fans, been around for a while. And he's bringing that Alan A. Dale Racing Uncharted ride up to the 5th position as another caution. Number 12, Nathan Faden going around, but thankfully that is all that ensued in that one. And Baird will slow it down. No stack up this time, which is good to see.
Yep.
But that is exactly what Matt Dalio wanted to see. Yikes! Durrani got spun off on the cool-down lap.
And they're going to... It doesn't look like this stack up's going to be too bad.
No, a lot of these guys in the back already have a piece of damage. A lot of guys in this race already have a piece of damage. But the guys who are up front do not. Maybe with the exception of Eli Bright. That slowed him down a little bit, but... now we got Nathan Baird, a race leader, Matt Dalio in 2nd, Eli Bright, Cameron Garlington, Keyshawn Richardson, and then Trey Bartow. Watch out for Bartow in this race, guys. He could have a shot at this one. Hasn't won in over a year in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. His final season. Grab some buds for Bartow. We'll be seeing if we do that later on the night. Nathan Baird, your race leader. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the 3rd caution of the night here in the Southern States 400 at North Wilkesboro.
So same situation as we've seen before, just coming off of turn 4, Faden comes up and just that same situation where it just does not work out, and he goes around. Thankfully, it's not as vicious as it was last time this happened, just a simple spin. Definitely, Nathan Faden's had a tough night, though. You got to feel for him.
Yeah, a lot of guys have had tough nights. Even Sam Adio in the 48. He's going to have a couple of choice words from other competitors in this race. He's been edgy in a different sort of way here tonight. Either way, Nathan Baird doing a good job in the 16. Let's see what he does on the restart here from the North Wilkesboro Speedway with Matt Dalio right behind him in the 75. We're back here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Nathan Baird, Matt Dalio, Eli Bright, Cameron Garlington, and Keyshawn Richardson. The top 5 coming to the restart. We're halfway in this race. Take a look at some guys who have had some issues tonight. LJ Semedo, Nikolay Sykes with a lap down, Kukalon 2 laps down, Sam Edillo 2 laps down, Faden 2 laps down. They're all still in the race. Downey 6 laps down and then out of the race. Ace Garcia, Silas Horta, Samit Ozkin, Patrick Smith, Reagan Whitlock, Andrew Miller, Fisher G, Thomas Troxel, and Bradley Remo out of the race from that big accident we had earlier on. Restart here at North Wilkesboro, and Baird able to hold off Dalio for now. Durrani looking on Bartow, not going to get a run quite yet. Kukalon, who is a lap down in that 13, trying to gain some positions through the field. But a good clean restart there for those guys, but Dalio is coming on Nathan Baird.
And the top 4, they all really got good restart. They all really stayed together. And right now they all have a shot to win this. Dalio's trying to get a run on Baird to take the lead away.
There's Nathan Baird looking to win 2 races in a row here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Got that emotional win at Portland. Oh, brother.
Really
I don't know if he's going to win this one now. Dalio to the inside, and that will put Baird on the outside lane. How about this rebound for Matt Dalio? Fell all the way back to 7th, but with the help of that stack up and the cautions, he is now back up and a hard hit. Eli Bright got plummeted and went right into Keyshawn Richardson, and now they're stacking it up again. And Richardson is done for the night in the 08. Shane Lake's around. I think Fitzy got some damage in the 9. And Dalio's got to be careful this time. And thankfully,
they got it. They're good.
I don't know if I want to watch the leaders, but wow. Eli Bright, who was having such a good run in this race, got caught up, and around he went into Keyshawn Richardson. It was a vicious hit there for the 33 machine.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of guys stacked it up in the back there. Garlington's now up to 3rd, Bartow's up to 4th, and Durrani rounds out the top 5. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the 4th caution of the night here in the Southern States 400 at North Wilkesboro. You see right here, Eli Bright in the 33. Dalio had already opened up the hole to the inside of Nathan Baird, and I think this is going to save Nathan Baird. He's going to be restarting in the 2nd position here, but you see Eli Bright here in the 33. It's the Wilkesboro slide off of turn 4, and Bright, he just couldn't save it. Just like Andrew Miller comes right back up in the Keyshawn Richardson. And how in the world? Trey Bartow was right behind Eli Bright when all that happened and avoided him. That could be a good omen for Bartow later on in this race. Kukalon nowhere to go. He was already a lap down. Henderson got a piece of that one back in here. Once again, it's the stack up. You got Fitzwater and Brett Sierra. Gonna run into each other right there. It wasn't as bad of a stack up as before, but Sierra's gonna have a lot of damage in the 04 after that one. And Shane Lake also got spun around there in the 15 machine. Not a good day for a lot of these guys here at North Wilkesboro. Gonna be a lot of damaged race cars at the end of the night here in the Southern States 400.
Alright, similar situation as we seen earlier this race. Eli Bright gets up, slides in Nathan Baird, and once again another big wreck. Thankfully it wasn't as vicious as the last time. It didn't cause too much issues, but it's just that same situation off turn 4. These guys keep sliding up, and then sometimes they save it, sometimes they don't, and it causes some massive wrecks, and sometimes it does. You just never know, but that turn 4, it's definitely a nail-biter.
It definitely is, and a tough break there for the 08 of Keyshawn Richardson. Had such a good run in this race as an uncharted driver, full-time Turkey Hill Series driver. Will not finish this one. Mitchell Henderson got a piece of damage out of that one. I don't think there are going to be many guys without damage in this race, but one of the guys who does not have damage is our race leader, Matt Dalio, in the number 75. So we'll have to see what he can do on the restart. 4th of the night here in the Southern States 400 from the old-fashioned North Wilkesboro Speedway. I don't know if it's ever been referred to that before, but it's an old-fashioned racetrack, let me tell you. They've been beating and banging like crazy here in this one. We're going to restart with now 29 laps to go in this race. It's closing in here. It's been a bit of a wild one. We've had a few yellows, but Matt Dalio's had a strong race. Started on the pole, fell back, rebounded. He's leading Nathan Baird, Cameron Garlington, Trey Bartow, and Ryan Durrani. How about that top 5 right there? Garlington and Bartow with a huge chance of winning. A lot of guys with damage now in this one. 24 guys still on the lead lap. Last driver on the lead lap is Alexander Rowe out of the race. will be Kukulon and the 22 of Gatlin Downey. Keyshawn Richardson and Eli Bright also going to be out from that heavy accident. Great jump for Dalio on the restart. Nathan Baird might not be as fast as the 75, but Garlington and Bartow, I think they're going to have a good shot at Dalio in this race.
Oh, yes, they will. Dalio got a great jump, but it wasn't as good as previous jumps we've seen before. Looks like Baird, I think he's going to get another run on Dalio and try to take the lead back.
We're going to have to see if Baird can do so. I think he's led the most laps so far in this race, and he does not want that to go to waste. Either way, I think with this run that Baird has, as long as he doesn't wreck out in this race, he should be able to move himself inside the top 10 in points. Alexander Rowe with a lot of damage. He's down the pit lane. Fitzwater, he's also got a lot of damage. He's also in the pit lane. A lot of guys just not having good nights so far. LJ Semedo, Zachary Fitzwater, Nikolai Sykes, Sam Adio, Faden, Kukulon, Brett Sear out of the race after that stack up. It's not been a clean race for a lot of guys, but it has been for the guys who are still inside the top 5. So we'll have to see how it all goes down. Brad Stover up to 5th. Durrani's starting to fall back now. He's now been passed by the only guy who doesn't have a throwback in this race, Mark Davidson. And Davidson inside the top 10, trying to keep himself from getting eliminated in the playoffs.
Yeah, look, got some guys up in the wall. Shane Lake.
Nathan Stapleton here in the 97. We'll go through a few of these throwbacks. There's Ricky Bobby in the 39. We already mentioned his throwback there. Matt Kenseth, 2007. How about a Kenny Irwin throwback here for John Arndt, who's inside the top 10 right now. Great run for the 05 in this one. You got a Scott Bloomquist throwback on Keegan Thompson. Hierjel, Arvin, Alonso. Solid run for him right now in the 12th position. Even though he wrecked early on in this one, he didn't wreck out, and just outside the top 10, a solid run. That's going to help Alonso in the championship. Throwing it back to Ernie Irvin or Davey Allison, whichever one you want. LJ Semedo, he's a lap down, but throwing it back to Morgan Shepard's Shearwine scheme. Of course, we mentioned Jimmy Means, 1991 for the 79 of Dana McMillan. Sam Horner's throwback back when he drove for Penske for Tristan Allen. Decent run for Allen in this race, too. He's 14th. Nathan Stapleton, Kevin Harvick. Powerade scheme, of course, we know Nathan Stapleton loves his Powerade. This is a solid scheme right here. How about a Dale Jarrett throwback for Diego Yepez? And we didn't really get to see Fitzy's throwback too well. That was a Bill Elliott throwback for him. That was a solid one. Shane Lake, 1999 Toyota Lamar. How about this one? This is the one I painted. John Andretti throwback for Jesse Turner. He drove this exact throwback in the Meliello Smooth Fest earlier this year. Aquan has him there in the 64. Jimmy Johnson, NBS throwback. And then you got David Gilliland's scheme with Dale Lightning there in the 38. And a Darrell Waltrip throwback for Nicholas Samadio. Back to the race lead. And Matt Dalio is not pulling away right now from Nathan Baird. Garlington and Bartow are not too far behind. And Brad Stover rounds out the top 5. If, and this is a big if this race stays green, do you think Baird will have a chance at getting around Matt Dalio?
I feel like he could.
Oh,
and
no.
The lap car. Ooh,
Mark Davidson, who was running in the 8th position with heavy damage. Not entirely sure what happened, but the green flag is still out. Oh, what a tough break for Davidson. He's going to be out of the race, and that's going to hurt him in the points. We've only had 4 cautions, which is tie for the most this season, I think, in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. I could be wrong about that. It might be 5, but still, so much carnage here. It's been a race of attrition for these guys here in the Southern States 400.
Yeah, it has been. You know, the top 7 right now, they've kind of split off a little bit. They're kind of spread out, so it's been calmer than it was before. You know, there's a lap car ahead, but it doesn't look like they're really ganging on the lap car, so it may not play a factor right now.
That is Alexander Rowe in the number 25, who is a couple laps down and to come down the pit lane to repair damage from one of the prior stack-ups. I will say, Baird is really close here on Dalio, but he's not really gaining on him here. Of course, Baird won our last race. Dalio is the kind of guy who I think is top 20 in points, and this win would put him right in to the wild card race, and not only that, it would put him closer to the top 10 in points. So this is a huge moment for Dalio. He's been the class of Otter Island Motorsports this season, been the best driver on the team, but he's yet to get a win this season. Of course, he broke a long losing streak last year in the Raised Eyes and Tubing 400, over 2.5 years in this series without a race victory. He's going for, I believe, his 7th win in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series here tonight, either the 7th or his 8th win. Can't exactly remember which one it is. but he's holding on right now. Garlington, Bartow, and Stover, those guys want a caution. Bartow's trying to get around Garlington here. We'll have to see if he can do so in these next few laps.
Yeah, and battle for third position is really good right now. Bartow's really trying to get a run in Cameron Garlington. They've been so right now. It's been kind of just they've kind of spread out. It's really not that much action going on, but we'll see if there's a caution later on. There could be.
It could easily be another caution in this race. Gotta give a huge shout out to Wyatt Quayle. I mean, he's had a tough season. He does have a win. He's in the wild card race, but he's 67 behind the cutoff in the wild card race, running 6th right now. He's going fast. That's all I got to say. Keegan Thompson, great run for him. Rookie driver there in 7th. We haven't seen much of John Arndt this season, but great run in the Kenny Irwin throwback, running in 8th. And then you got Landon Smith Jr. and Ryan Durrani rounding out the top 10. Landon Smith Jr., an uncharted driver for NS Racing, running 9th in the uncharted ride. Great run for him. In 11th, it's Hierjel, Arvin, Alonso. In 12th, it's Tristan Allen. Solid runs for these guys, especially Alonso, who needs that good run. And we'll just have to see if it sticks for him in this one. No one is safe until the checkered flag flies here at North Wilkesboro. I think it's pretty safe to say that. Coming to 10 laps to go for Matt Dalio in the Southern States 400, the last event of the night in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. We thank you so much for watching here tonight on this Friday evening. Tomorrow night, it's the feature events for the modifieds and the super late models here. And if you like what you saw tonight, you're going to love tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time as well. Of course, Justin's going to be in that super late model feature starting 3rd, so watch out for Justin. He could have a huge win tomorrow night. And Matt Dalio could have a huge win here tonight in the Southern States 400. 9 laps to go in North Wilkesboro for the 9-season Chick-Fil-A Cup Series veteran.
Yeah, Dalio right now, he's been holding off Baird really well. Baird's really trying. I feel like he's been kind of swinging a little bit wide in the corners. That's kind of causing him to gain ground on Dalio. That's why Dalio's been kind of been able to stay out a little bit. Dalio got wide right there and Baird closed in, but these guys, they've been kind of sliding a little bit to the high side.
We've seen a lot of that. We've seen a lot of sliding around this place. Tire wear, I think, is coming into play a lot, though. With the tires getting worn out, these guys are pretty much staying in their respective positions. I mean, Bartow's been on the back bumper of Garlington the past 10 laps and has not been able to do anything with them. And we're getting within the range. If we get a caution, the race is going to end anyway. Next time by, it's 6 laps to go for Matt Dalio. So we're going to hope that we do not get another caution in this race so we can have a green flag finish. But Dalio might want a caution, because if that happens, he'll be able to hold off Nathan Baird, because that 16 is coming in the Baird Motorsports machine. Looking for 2 in a row here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. He may have an advantage on Dalio here. Dalio wide again. Baird with a lower line off of turn 4. This race is far from over with 5 laps to go on the Southern States 400.
Yeah, Dalio really got wide off the last corner. Definitely cost him some ground, but Baird's also been getting a little wide too. That's why Baird hasn't been able to get a huge run and been able to pass Dalio yet. That turn, they both were really good and better through that corner, but it just depends how you take the turn. Sometimes you take it better, sometimes you don't. Really depends how it goes.
Dalio pulled away a little bit there from Nathan Baird that last lap. Coming to 3 laps to go next time by at North Wilkesboro for Matt Dalio, Otter Island Motorsports. They have 1 win so far this season with Jesse Turner at Las Vegas. They also won the All-Star race with Turner. But Dalio is the best driver in points, and this win will put him right in the wild card race, and he could actually be one of the top 2 guys in the wild card if he wins here tonight, especially considering that Fisher G knocked himself out. He's got to hold off Nathan Baird, though. Baird will undoubtedly put himself inside the top 10 in points with 4 races left to go before the cutoff. The big question is, will he get the race victory? It's pulling away a little bit more for Dalio. It's going to be the white flag for the Neil Bonnet throwback next time by here in the Southern States 400 for Matt Dalio in the number 75.
I think Dalio's going to have this in the bag unless he screws up really bad. I think he's just going to have it. He's been driving really good. Baird's been driving really hard. He got a good run there, but I think Dalio's going to have it in the bag.
1 more corner for Matt Dalio in the number 75. Nathan Baird is not going to be close enough. It's going to be the 8th career win for Matt Dalio in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series, and it's also the throwback race as well. Matt Dalio wins the Southern States 400 at North Wilkesboro from the pole.
Yeah, and I give credit to Matt Dalio. He fell back a little bit early on, but he was able to make that ground back up, and once he got to the front, it was his race to lose. So it was a really, really solid drive by Matt Dalio. And Nathan Baird, too, he was right behind him. He did not let him go completely. He kept digging really hard trying to get back-to-back wins. Unfortunately, he came up just a little bit short, but definitely another solid race for Nathan Baird.
Yeah, and that's going to really help Baird. I think if I'm Nathan Baird, I would be really happy about that performance. But Matt Dalio needed this win, and that could put him in the chase. Only 4 races remain in this regular season. Not in the season. 14 races remain in the whole season. But only 4 until the cutoff, and that was a clutch win for Matt Dalio. I mean, I think he had the fastest car in this race. He fell back early on, but got right back through. And, you know, I think a lot of it had to do with Ace Garcia running into the back of Bradley Ream under that second caution. That really helped Dalio out, and Dalio was able to move his way through the field and get to Nathan Baird and take home the race victory. Cameron Garlington, Trey Bartow, Brad Stover, the top 5. That might be the first top 5 for Brad Stover all season, and even for Trey Bartow. Both of those guys at Titan Fury Motorsports needed those runs, and they both got them. Wyatt Quill also needed a good run. Finished 6th. Keegan Thompson, John Art, Ryan Durrani, and hats off to Hierjel Arvin Alonso, who was rear-ended in that second accident. Came home with a top 10 finish here today. Really good rally out of Alonso. Much better result here than last year. He did not have a good run here last year, but a lot of guys did not have good runs. Mark Davidson, who was inside the top 10 before his piston issue. 30th. Eli Bright, we saw what happened to him and Keyshawn Richardson. Huge wreck between those guys. Brett Sierra as well also got knocked out because of a stack-up. And then Ace Garcia, it was so tough to see that Tim Flock scheme get knocked out while he was the race leader, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Silas Ortiz, Sam Alskin, Patrick Smith, Reagan Whitlock, Andrew Miller, Fish G, Thomas Troxel, and Bradley Ream all knocked out. Tough break for those guys, and you see all the other guys a lap down or more in this race. 21 guys finished on the lead lap, with Iquan Haslam, the last guy to finish on the lead lap. How about this race, Justin? Very interesting. Do you think we're going to see something similar to this tomorrow night in the late model feature?
Oh, probably. It's definitely a crazy track, especially at nighttime. All the sliding and around is just really crazy racing overall. I believe the late models are definitely going to be like how this race is tonight.
We'll just have to see. Of course, you're going to join me for the matinee tomorrow, noon Eastern Time. Modified heats and super late model LCQ. Only the top 6 advance on for those guys. And then, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on AppFan, it's the final night of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. We have ourselves the modified feature at 76 laps, and then the super late model feature at 100 laps. But thank you guys so much for watching here on this Friday night for the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. Capping it off with a great race in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Matt Dalio wins here at North Wilkesboro, his first win of the season in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. And the Season 4 champion may have another shot at another championship here in Season number 9. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here are the point standings for the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series after 16 races. And on behalf of Justin Seidel, we appreciate you guys sticking around and enjoying tonight's action here from North Wilkesboro. Congratulations to Matt Dalio on his Southern States 400 race victory. And I will see you guys later.
It's time to let go.